Ahoy there, fluffineers. Captain Riv here, and today we be talking about Anthro Weekend Utah 2025. I hope you all liked my pirate accent. Also, Captain Lazy Pants here actually made some content again. Wow, amazing, isn't it? Sorry, my job has been so hectic this summer, the content's been a little light, but things are looking better, so we'll have some videos for you actually coming up. Alright, as you probably know by now, Anthro Weekend Utah is one of our favorite furry conventions. It happens every year in Layton, Utah, just north of Salt Lake City. It's a small to medium con, and it has a great vibe. So why was I talking like a pirate in the intro? Well, that's because the theme of this year's Anthro Weekend Utah was Pirates of Land and Sea. Specifically, Anchor's AWU. It's so worth buying one of the upper tier registrations at AWU just because of all the swag you get, like that poster I just showed you. I actually regret not buying the highest one, Alpha, this year, because I missed out on some really good stuff. A lot of cons just give you junky trinkets. AWU gives you like really good stuff. So as usual, the theme, integration, immersion, if you will, was unparalleled at Anthro Weekend Utah. This is the case every year. No other furry convention I've ever attended does as good a job with the theme, not even close. The con has its own cast of characters that appear in a story every year that unwinds throughout the con. The story begins at opening ceremonies, and the characters have to solve a problem or escape from something during the course of the con. They always have a little scavenger hunt type thing where you can find out some secrets about what the outcome of the story is going to be and get yourself a special little trinket to prove that you actually finished it. As usual this year, I forgot to do it. I need to actually do that one of these years. I absolutely love the characters. I love the way they build a story around the theme and they make the theme part of the entire con. Now, some cons are good at this. ACFI does a movie every year based on the theme. That's pretty awesome. TFF has had some bangers too in terms of theme, but nobody does it better than AWU. The other thing Anthro Weekend Utah does better than any other convention is its registration. They built their own registration system from the ground up. No more waiting in huge 2, 3, 4-hour lines for pre-reg badges. It's ridiculous and unnecessary, and AWU has fixed this problem. They mail out your badge. They have scan stations when you enter the con space. It's so easy. Instead of a badge pickup, it's just a validation, which takes seconds. They actually played a little game this year where they measured the fastest validation. It was 0.781 seconds. That's how long it took somebody to walk up with their mailed badge, doink it in the little doinker thing, and it was done. It was over. They're registered. They're in the con. Everything's good. No lines. Other cons, I'm looking at you, learn something from this. It's been years now. You can do it too. Now, aside from the awesome theme integration, the events were great too, as usual. But I say that about most cons. After all, that's kind of what a con is about, having events. They had a lot of cool stuff going on. The normal things like the fursuit parade, like the dance comp. They had the casino night that they do every year. It's not a real casino because Utah, but it's really fun anyway. And they had Lollapalooza, a music festival. There were some really unique panels. I, of course, did my panels again this year. I did my usual video content creation one, and I also did a Belfour and Lupin fans panel. That went really well. We were able to watch an episode, and I was able to give people some tricks and tips on how to actually watch the show. A really cool panel I attended was a sewing machine repair and maintenance panel. I've had problems making sewing machines work in the past. I went through 3 of them, and they kept having the same problem, and I finally got some answers as to what I was doing wrong. So I might be able to finish Lurks' bodysuit one of these months. Anyway, speaking of the dance comp, the winner was Omar Weiss this year. Congratulations, and congratulations to everybody who made it to the finals, and, well, even those who didn't. You gave it your best try, and that's awesome. The fursuit parade was huge. I mean, the attendee to fursuiter ratio of Anthro Weekend Utah has got to be like a record. There were so many suits there. It was 32 minutes from start to finish. I did not participate in the parade this year because I forgot to bring an extra camera to give somebody to film it, so I filmed it myself. And I'm kind of glad I wasn't in it because waiting that long for the photo and then a 32-minute parade would have been really hot and icky sticky. So I just hung out. I got some good video of it. If you want to watch that, I uploaded that on Thursday, so go check it out. Speaking of records for attendees versus things, once again, last year, AWU held the record for any furry convention in the world in terms of charitable donations per attendee. Utah has some very generous, suspiciously wealthy furries. Well, they're not suspiciously wealthy, they're just in an area that has a lot of good paying jobs, I think. It is awesome for the charity. It is awesome for the convention. It's kind of not awesome for people who don't have a lot of money who want to try to win stuff in the charity auction, though. And that was the case once again this year in the charity auction. I was unsuccessful in buying what I wanted.
150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 292, 92, 92, 92, 290, 290, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 350, 350, 350, 350, humor me for Xbox 360. You have 350. Will you humor me with $10 more with Xbox 360? Yes. All right. So.
I had actually sold a couple cameras on eBay on Friday, and I had some money burning a hole in my pocket. I set a pretty big number for what I was willing to pay for this hallway banner. Now you might say, that thing's huge, where are you going to put it? Well, I'm moving to Colorado next year. My house there has a big garage, and it's going to be one of those nice garages with like decorations and stuff instead of just like a car dungeon. So I thought that would be really cool on the wall of my garage. And I started bidding, and other people started bidding, and eventually I hit my limit and my hand went down. There were like 4 or 5 other people bidding, and it ended up going for 50% more than I was willing to pay. Ouch. But that wasn't the end of it. I had another thing I was really interested in. That was this standee featuring Ark. I love Ark. He's like one of my favorite furry characters ever. He's one of the, I guess, mascots of the convention. He's a coyote. He's super cool, super cute, no matter who draws him. So I was getting ready to bid on this one, and before this one came up for bid, they put it out to the audience like, hey, should we, the con staff, autograph all these standees? And everyone was like, yes, yes, yes. And I was like, no, I don't want black Sharpie scribble all over my really expensive piece of art. And then I realized I couldn't fit it in my car. I already had to practice the ancient Japanese art of Subaru, which is basically Tetris with fursuit parts in a Subaru, to get my suits all to the con, and there was no way I was getting some big thing in the car on top of all that. So I bailed on the auction without winning anything, headed out to Home Depot real quick, where I picked up this, which quickly became this, which is going to become one of these for this. Now I know I said I might just keep Belfour a mini partial, but I feel like he really needs a bodysuit, and I worked a ton of overtime this summer, so I had some money for that. Can't wait for Belfour to be complete. Anyway, we were talking about Anthro Weekend Utah, not my suits. All right, well, they wrapped up the story, of course, at closing ceremonies. I really recommend you go to opening and closing at AWU. Some cons, they're like, nah. AWU, they're great. You really need to go. Anyway, they wrapped up the story as usual, and it bridged into next year's theme. There was a rift in time, some kaijus were released, and apparently our heroes next year, Ark, Carver, Bryce is the bad guy usually, and the new Griffin character they introduced this year will be Power Rangers. Well, probably not Bryce because he's still the bad guy, but our furry friends have morphed into Power Rangers, and that will be next year's AWU theme. I can't wait for next year. The cosplay possibilities are endless with Power Rangers. I bet we'll see a lot of really interesting stuff. I might even have to get a Power Ranger outfit to wear on my fursuits. So yet again, another unique and awesome theme. Overall, I have very little constructive criticism for the con whatsoever. One of the staffers, I'm sorry I forgot your name, guy with the really slick-looking pink suit, actually approached me in the hallway and asked me if there was anything that could be done better. They'd seen my videos in the past, and I said, I have to think about it. I know there's one thing. After thinking and thinking, I finally remembered what it was. It was just that the microphone audio during opening ceremonies was way too loud, and it was actually like painful, like having to cover your ears level loud. Like, that's it. That's all the criticism I have for the entire con. This con, again, is so good. Surprisingly, it didn't grow that much in terms of attendance this year. Everybody was thinking it was going to have 3,000 attendees. It had 2,400 something last year, only ended up with 2,601 this year. That is not a bad thing, and let me tell you why. Now, if anybody's on staff or familiar with the situation, you might correct me in the comments if I say something wrong here, but as I understand it, the Davis Conference Center is kind of the ideal place for the con to be, and if it gets too big, it's not going to fit in there anymore. There isn't really an intermediate option in that area of Utah other than moving to the Salt Palace, which is like the giant convention center in Salt Lake City, which would be too big. So the longer the con can stay at the Davis Conference Center, the better. They did hint that something big was going to happen during the 10-year anniversary of the con in 2028. Is that a venue change? I don't know. We're not going to find out for a while. But I'm kind of glad the con is staying a little bit smaller and is fitting comfortably within the Davis Conference Center and the surrounding hotels. Okay, enough blabbering. If you want to see a whole ton of fursuits, you can go back and watch the fursuit parade video, but I got some silly random footage like I always do of fursuiters doing their thing and being silly. Thank you, as always, to our super squishy pirate patrons for helping to fund this channel. You are awesome, and you're just as generous as the people who spend $2,000 something on a bathroom banner at the Anthro Weekend Utah charity auction, if not more generous. All right, on to the fuzzy fursuit silliness. Here we go. Anthro Weekend Utah 2025. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.
Being a pirate is really bad. Take the back like at the end of the path. You are a pirate. Speaking of.